A reminder, the news doesn't end here. Here's what's coming up on WCNC Plus at 7.
It's a major protest taking place right here in Charlotte this weekend. We'll have details of the No Kings protest, too, coming up.
Plus, a former community leader is now at the center of a massive fraud investigation.
We didn't know who lived there. A lot of people seem to live there.
How federal agents say he scammed millions from some of Charlotte's most vulnerable.
A fight for change as thousands of students and staff in Charlotte are living without stable housing.
These are CMS employees. These are airport workers.
How one organization is helping folks in our community find new hope this morning.
And it was a star-studded night in Mooresville.
We'll hear from the inductees now in North Carolina Music's Hall of Fame. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
This morning, we're following a stalled vehicle on Tryon Street northbound at Westinghouse Boulevard. This is going to cause a lot of issues for folks heading northbound from South Charlotte. Zooming out here, we're starting to see heavy congestion, including I-85 northbound from Gastonia. Drive safely.
All right, still very chilly for a lot of us. 30s, 40s, and some low 50s by the afternoon, though. We're looking at mid 70s, sunny skies, even warmer by tomorrow. So enjoy your weekend.
Streaming live right now at 7 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. Right now, a man accused of killing his girlfriend is back in Alexander County after being arrested out of state.
Police say 32-year-old William Shook is charged with murdering 54-year-old Jamie McLeod on October 7th. Authorities say the two were dating. Shook was arrested in Ohio 2 days after McLeod's death. He was arrested on an outstanding larceny warrant. He's now being held without bond at the Alexander County Jail. All right, take a look at your screen. Kings Mountain Police searching for 30-year-old Julia Carcamo, last reported missing on Monday after being last seen on Saturday in the town of Duncan, South Carolina. If you know where she might be, please contact the number there on your screen, Kings Mountain Police.
Today, people across the city are getting ready for a nationwide protest to take place right here in Charlotte.
WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane live for us this morning. I believe he's in First Ward Park, a site of one of those protests, with what we can expect from this No Kings movement.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Ben. Good morning to you. Good morning, Lisa. Good Friday morning to all the folks watching us on the Plus. Our Plus is out there. This is our First Ward Park will be the place where everybody will be out tomorrow at this protest. We can tell you it's being called a major pro-democracy rally set to take place Saturday morning. Organizers say it's a peaceful stand against authoritarianism and a reminder that power in America belongs to the people. They say not one ruler or party. The event is called No Kings 2, hosted by Indivisible Charlotte and partner organizations. The group says it builds on momentum from a similar rally held in June with a continued focus on justice, equality, and democratic values. Among the featured speakers, Reed Gallon, who's the co-founder of the Lincoln Project. That's a conservative organization that actually went against or didn't support Donald Trump, and Reverend Dr. Janet Garner Mullins, who is a community activist who's gained a lot of attention here in the Charlotte area. There will also be community voices from across the Queen City. The rally runs from 10 a.m. to noon here at First Ward Park. It'll be followed by a 1-mile march through uptown Charlotte, so pay attention to that and back. Organizers say this event is vital for the democracy of our country.
Whether people are Democrats or independents or Republicans, they are coming out on October 18th. They're coming out for their future. They're coming out to make sure that grocery prices don't keep escalating. They're coming out to make sure that they have a future and their kids have a future.
No one is saying that we shouldn't have strong borders and that we shouldn't get criminals out, but they're taking U.S. citizens. They're taking people legally allowed to be here.
The majority of people are not happy with the policies of the Trump administration and his push towards authoritarianism.
I think more and more people are going to continue to mobilize.
And that's what this rally is all about. They've also, organizers of one of the government federal unions or agencies, I should say, has said that they would like any furloughed workers or workers affected by the government shutdown, if they want to come out and protest at any of the events held around the country. We have a list of some of the other protests that are taking place in our region on our website. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
What should folks know if they're going to be in and around uptown as far as this weekend, if they're wanting to, say, avoid the area or not, if there's going to be traffic concerns, things people should know about?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. We want you to know this event takes place from 10 to 12. So what will happen is around this part, First Ward Park, you're going to have traffic concerns just moving around uptown because you expect hundreds of thousands of people will be here. But then also after 12 or a little bit before 12, expect other areas of uptown to be affected because they're going to do the march. And that march, while it may not go into some streets, it will probably cause some traffic concerns as hundreds or if not thousands of folks march to uptown, parts of uptown, and then back to the park. And since there were similar protests, rallies, if you will, in Concord and other areas, Gastonia and places like that, it's important to know that those areas may be affected. One note, I mentioned Gastonia, the only way we can find out the actual location and everything is if you sign up. So that's a different site. But the other sites, we have them on our website, so you can look at go on our mobile app and navigate yourself around if you want to attend or if you want to avoid this weekend's No Kings 2 protests in our area.
All right, Richard Devane live for us this morning. Thanks so much for that, Richard. Let's check in with now Majestic to get an update on our forecast. We've been looking at the temperatures closely if you were on air with us early this morning, and you said Charlotte was the only place still hanging on to those low 50s.
Exactly. Everyone else already settled into those 40s, even some 30s up in the mountains, and that's not out of the ordinary. Typically in cities, we have a harder time cooling down because of all the buildings and the cement surrounding us, but we have dropped down to now below 51 degrees, which which was recently the coolest morning that we've had so far this season on October 10th. But now, as you're heading out the door, if you're in Charlotte, it's 50 degrees, and we suspect that over the next 30 minutes to an hour, we could see this temperature get even cooler. Meanwhile, in Monroe, good morning to you. Look at how gorgeous it is. It's a nice, beautiful fall start to the morning. And then in Boone, I have had my eyes on you. Near freezing temperatures this morning, 34 degrees. Out in Hickory, checking in at 46, 39 in Jefferson, 48 in Monroe, Lancaster, 46 as you're heading out the door. So here's that bus stop forecast as we're waking up those kids, getting them ready for their Friday school day. Sweatshirts will be needed at the bus stop, but then by the afternoon, we're still seeing those very, very pleasant conditions with temperatures rising back into right around those mid-70s under nothing but blue, sunny skies. It's going to be a beautiful Friday afternoon. Morganton will look for a high of 74 this afternoon for you. Low 70s, upper 60s for the mountain locations, and then 75 degrees out there in Lancaster. Satellite and radar, this is nice and clear. A nice way to start our Friday. Really all across the Carolinas, we get to sit back, relax, soak up some sunshine this weekend. However, we are watching a very strong cold front move across the middle half of the country. It's going to bring some severe weather to the mid-south. Once this cold front actually reaches the Carolinas, it loses its energy and it really doesn't bring much rain with it. We could use the rain, but it's kind of a good thing that it doesn't reach us because it's also going to trigger some strong to severe thunderstorms today, but especially on Saturday. The Storm Prediction Center has several states highlighted, meaning that there is a risk for those storms to actually become severe. Some of those storms could even produce tornadoes, strong damaging winds. We're talking about even large size hail. And when we're looking at the severe weather season, we have one in spring, but we also have one in fall. So this is also not out of the ordinary. That's going to be the big story this weekend nationally as we're looking at the weather forecast. And then again, once that front reaches the Carolinas, it doesn't have much energy with it. So really not seeing much opportunity for rain showers as we're heading into the weekend. Sunday, we have it at about a 30 to 40% chance. So here's about noon. We could see some scattered showers up in the mountain locations, and it kind of tracks off to the north into the east. A spotty rain shower, again, not out of the question for us Sunday afternoon and evening. And then back behind that front, we'll be heading into our Monday with a beautiful start to our new work week. You can see it there in our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. We'll see those temperatures right around 47 degrees Monday morning, and then a gorgeous start to the week as well. Lots going on this weekend. The Charlotte Checkers are at home. The Charlotte FC game is ongoing, so hopefully you can take some time and enjoy this really nice forecast. All right, we're going to send things over to Destiny. Any accidents out on those roads on this Friday morning?
Yeah, we're definitely starting to see some accidents in the 7 o'clock hour. So good thing you are here on WCNC Plus because it's getting busy out there. This is a look at I-277 and I-77 near Uptown. I just wanted to show the beautiful skyline in the background, but we're definitely not having that many incidents on our interstate. So that's good news. I want to start here with a disabled vehicle because this is causing a lot of backups right now. Right lane blocked on inbound Tryon Street at Westinghouse Boulevard. This is a bit of an old image of it, but it's still causing a lot of trouble. As you can see on the traffic flow map here, Tryon Street way backed up there. So if you're trying to head northbound on Tryon, it's going to be an issue for you if you're heading into the 485 loop. So this morning we're also following some accidents. Lane blocked due to a crash on Ardrey Kell Road at Community House Road. Seeing there might be another crash near Bo Riley Road on Ardrey Kell, right in front of Ardrey Kell High School. So going to be following that this morning. And then we're also seeing a crash here, lane blocked. I believe it's a left lane on Pineville Matthews Road at Beckmore Place, but it's also causing some residual backups on Providence. So just a heads up there. We'll have another traffic update for you in a few minutes.
7:10 now. Cornelius police are issuing a new warning following dozens of break-ins in the area. Investigators say criminals aren't only targeting unlocked cars, but breaking through windows as well. They tell us items like computers, bags, even weapons left in cars are luring thieves in. The break-ins have been spread throughout the entire town.
You know, you have people that are traveling and may not want to take all their valuables inside when they're traveling and going and staying in a hotel. But we're seeing apartment complexes, neighborhoods. It's just the opportunity that exists.
Police say there have been close to 50 break-ins in just the past few days. CMS is sharing details for new security measures for what it calls high-profile football games and other events. These are events district leaders expect to draw big crowds and those that have a history of security concerns.
Okay, so for these games, the number of tickets is going to be capped. Folks won't be able to buy tickets at the game site, and there will be added security personnel, separate concession stands, and attendance limitations for students from non-competing schools and those under the age of 16. The district says it's going to determine which events get this designation on the Monday prior to those games. 7-11 right now on WCNC Plus. Up next, President Trump takes a new step towards ending the war in Ukraine. We'll tell you more about his planned meeting later today.
Plus, the president working to make IVF treatments more affordable. We'll tell you about his plan and what it means for those hoping to start or grow their families. That's next.
.13 right now. This morning, President Trump now turning his focus towards the war in Ukraine. After more than 2 hours on the phone, Mr. Trump said last night he plans to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in person to talk peace.
Now, it comes just days before his sit-down with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House happening today. NBC's Alice Barr has details on that meeting and what it means for the future of Eastern Europe.
President Trump wading back into negotiations over the Ukraine war, hosting Ukrainian President Zelensky today at the White House and announcing a second in-person meeting with Russian President Putin in Hungary in the coming weeks, after what he called a very productive phone call with Putin Thursday.
We want to stop the killing. 7,000 people a week. Can you believe it? We want to stop the killing.
The fighting in Ukraine has only intensified in the 2 months since the last Trump-Putin summit in Alaska, and the president has repeatedly voiced frustration with Putin for keeping up the attacks.
I'm very disappointed in him because I thought this would have been an easy one to settle.
Frustration sometimes directed at Zelensky, too, who is expected today to press for long-range Tomahawk missiles that would help Ukraine strike deep into Russia.
I don't know what we can do about that.
President Trump citing American need.
We can't deplete for our country. So, they're very vital. They're very powerful.
Russia has warned any Tomahawk transfer would significantly damage U.S.-Russia relations, though Zelensky said he believes the threat of the weapons had forced Moscow to resume negotiations. Zelensky also noting he hopes to build off President Trump's success brokering a Gaza ceasefire, as the president responded to deeply troubling videos of Hamas conducting public executions, clearly not disarmed. The president writing, "If Hamas continues to kill people in Gaza, which was not the deal, we will have no choice but to go in and kill them," though he underscored U.S. troops would not be involved in the fight.
Ukraine's president enters the White House today in a strengthened position with President Trump, who posted last month that with the support of Europe, Ukraine was in position to take back all of its territory from Russia, a major shift in rhetoric that Ukrainians hope to turn to real battleground backing. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
President Trump is taking new steps to make IVF more affordable. Just yesterday, the White House announced 3 common IVF drugs could be sold at discounts of more than 70% through Trump RX. That's a government-backed website set to launch next year. Those drugs typically cost around $5,000 per IVF cycle. The plan also aims to help drug makers boost production here in the United States. It's all part of the president's plan to make IVF more affordable.
Here today to announce a historic victory for American women, mothers, and families. With the actions I will outline this afternoon will dramatically slash the cost of IVF and the treatment and many of the most common fertility drugs for countless millions of Americans. Prices are going way down, way down. Today we're also taking historic steps to vastly expand access to insurance coverage for fertility care, including IVF, something that, as you know, was not covered. Effective immediately, for the first time ever, we will make it legal for companies to offer supplemental insurance plans specifically for fertility. It's never been done before. We're signing it in today with what we signed. Americans will be able to opt in to specialized coverage just as they get vision and dental insurance. They're going to get fertility insurance for the first time.
Trump RX is scheduled to launch in January.
All right, when we come back, we'll have another check of your Friday morning forecast and your morning commute.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Well, it's officially the coolest morning of the season so far. We're officially at 50 degrees in Charlotte. We previously had our second earliest coolest day of the season on October the 10th, where we were at 51. So not too far from that. However, we do suspect that temperatures will continue to drop a degree or two over the next 30 minutes or so. Look at how pretty it is outside. This is in downtown Monroe, where we have nothing but clear conditions. Even here in Lylesville, a little bit of valley fog, but boy, it's really pretty no matter where you're starting your day at. Now in Boone, you just keep on getting colder and colder. 33 degrees right now, near freezing temperatures. 46 there in Hickory, 45 in Rock Hill, much of the same out there towards Sharon. You can see throughout the afternoon, those temperatures are going to warm just fine. We'll have plenty of sunshine. Daytime highs today are still forecasted to rise right around those mid-70s. It's going to be a pleasant day to get outside and enjoy it. And if you're too busy today to do it, hopefully you can find some time tomorrow. It's going to be a little warmer, low 80-degree temperatures for Saturday, and then on Sunday, low 70s, Sunday and on Monday. Now, there is a few things you need to know as we're heading into the weekend. Saturday will be the warm, sunny day. Sunday, we do have a 40% chance for a few rain showers. However, I think still most of the day will be just fine. We're not suspecting that we'll have widespread or heavy rain or anything like that, but a few stray showers popping up here and there, not out of the question. So if you're packing up the family, you're heading out to the pumpkin patch, you want to go get your pumpkins this weekend, maybe some mums, it'd be a good weekend to do that. Maybe you want to head out to the mountains and go see the beautiful fall colors. Saturday is going to be a very busy day, that's for sure, but feeling cool and crisp in the morning with 40s to start out the day, 70s by the afternoon, and then on Sunday it's going to be a bit cooler and those passing showers are more likely in the mountains. If you're heading to Banner Elk this weekend, it is the Woolly Worm Festival. Saturday a high of 70 degrees, going to be a nice one, and then on Sunday kind of a dramatic change there for Banner Elk, with 54 being your high with more rain showers ahead. We'll have a full detailed look at the 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but Destiny, let's send things over to you.
Yeah, it's starting to get to be a busy morning out there. I keep saying that, but now it's really busy. Now it's more busy than it was before. All right, we have a new accident right now, a 2-vehicle accident up north this morning near Cornelius. One lane is blocked here out near exit 28, which is in the Cornelius area, I-77 northbound. One lane is blocked with this. Starting to see the backups here that are starting to get there. It's just a medium impact right now, a little bit of a slow impact, but right now that may be starting to build. We'll keep on watching it. Going back down into the Charlotte area now, we're continuing to talk about this. It's been going on for a while now. Lane blocked due to a stalled vehicle on Tryon Street at Westinghouse Boulevard. So this is going to affect folks in the right lane that's going through northbound on Tryon Street this morning. And then we have a couple of other incidents, some in front of schools this morning. Near Ardrey-Kell High School, eastbound Ardrey-Kell Road before Bo Riley Road, there's an incident in the right turn lane there, so right in front of the school. And then we have an incident involving a tree on NC 51, which is Pineville Matthews Road, in both directions at Beckmore Place. Also some backups on Providence. So a downed tree is causing this. And it is an injury incident with the left lane blocked again in both directions. Drive safely.
All right, Destiny, thanks.
Carb lovers, listen up. Today is National Pasta Day. Pasta's history traces back to Italy with a first reference in Sicily back in the 1100s. If you're wondering how many types of pasta there are, the Encyclopedia of Pasta lists more than 300. Spaghetti, penne, fettuccine, just to name a few. And if you're an athlete, you know that pasta packs an energy punch since it's a complex carb. Be sure to check out which of your favorite spots are offering deals today. Why am I even reading this story? Like, why is this one for me? Because
it sounds good.
It does sound good. Have you had any pasta recently?
I told you. I recently had some lemon ravioli, which sounds odd, but it was amazing.
Sounds amazing to me.
It really was surprisingly good. Yum, 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 yum. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break as we take a live look right now. Sun just about to come up in the next like 6 or 7 minutes here over Uptown. More news, weather, and traffic coming your way right here on WCNC Plus.
Friday morning, everyone. Take a look at your TV screen. It is beautiful outside. Nothing but clear conditions. We'll have a nice sunny day for you, but have you been outside yet? Because if you haven't, let me tell you, it's a bit cool out there for many of us. We are right at 50 degrees in Charlotte. It is now the coolest morning of the season so far. Meanwhile, up in Boone, near freezing temperatures as you're heading out the door, you'll probably want to grab at least a sweatshirt early in the morning. By the afternoon, you won't need it. It is going to be picture perfect for your Friday. Sunny and 75 degrees. I don't think many people are complaining about that. Little warmer for your Saturday with 80s returning. Sunday, a small chance for a few stray showers. There's a look at that Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Lots going on this weekend. Hopefully you can get outside and enjoy it. It is beautiful, but a bit crisp as you're heading out for your Friday. All right, Destiny, how's the Friday morning commute?
Yeah, the Friday morning commute is very active now. We're starting to see more crashes in the 7 o'clock hour this morning. That congestion is starting to build in the usual areas, but let's get to some of these severe crashes. One of them is out near Cornelius. One lane is blocked from a 2-vehicle accident. We also have a crash near Ardrey-Kell High School, eastbound Ardrey-Kell before Bo Riley Road in the right turn lane. So just be careful for folks headed to school. And then we also have another crash that we'll talk about on
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 7:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. Federal authorities investigating a Charlotte activist raiding 3 properties he owns.
You may recall Cedric Dean was most recently in the headlines back in June after his substance abuse recovery program called HELP took over the Baymont Inn from another group, Heal Charlotte. But after safety concerns were reported, he pulled out of that location. Authorities say Dean ran a massive Medicaid fraud scheme that targeted some of Charlotte's most vulnerable residents. WCNC Charlotte's Tradisha Woodard looks into the allegations.
Well, documents allege Cedric Dean and his company promised things like free food and temporary housing in exchange for people's Medicaid information. Investigators say his team then continuously used those identification numbers to bill for health services that were never provided. When FBI agents showed up at Cedric Dean's home, neighbors knew something big was happening.
That home just always seemed a little off or odd. We didn't know who lived there. A lot of people seemed to live there. It's kind of a revolving door of people.
Boxes carried out, federal vehicles lining the street.
Guns were pointed at the house, but it looked peaceful. Whoever lived there was coming out of the house with their hands up.
It comes as the federal government alleges Cedric Dean ran a massive Medicaid fraud scheme, one that targeted Charlotte's homeless community. We spoke to a victim who says she's not surprised. She had interactions with Dean when he took over the Heal Charlotte Hotel.
Did I expect this to happen? Absolutely, I did. Yep. I prayed for it.
Federal court documents allege Dean and his company, CDH, promised free food or temporary housing. But what they really wanted was access to their Medicaid information.
They were saying, we need your Medicaid information to pay for your room.
The government claims Dean then used those numbers to bill Medicaid for mental health services that were never provided. And they say the money added up fast. Court documents show CDH billed Medicaid for $14.5 million in services and received nearly $9 million in payments.
They would go around to neighborhoods and pick those people up and sign them up. If they didn't have Medicaid, they would sign them up for the Medicaid so that they could start billing Medicaid for the individual, saying that they're getting treatment.
The complaint also details red flags like billing for care given to someone who had already died, and in another case, giving out a plate of food, then billing Medicaid for $3,200 for crisis management.
We never saw any therapists or any AA meetings or any of those such things going on.
The FBI is now moving to seize what it calls ill-gotten gains, including 5 vehicles, 2 motorhomes used to recruit homeless people, nearly $150,000 in bank accounts, and 4 properties in Charlotte and Shelby worth more than $2 million combined.
He did so many things to people that were very harmful.
Now, right now, the FBI hasn't said whether Dean is in custody or if charges have been formally filed, but this federal investigation is far from over. Back to you.
We should mention this story first came on our radar thanks to tips from you. Of course, we thank you for reaching out. It allowed us to start asking questions and getting the information that we're looking for. Remember, you can always reach us by emailing tips@WCNC.com or just message us on social media. Majestic?
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful start to our Friday morning. This is a live camera shot coming in from Lylesville. This is out there in Anson County. Not even a single cloud in the sky. This is a picture-perfect fall sunrise, isn't it? A little bit of that low-lying cloud and low-lying fog out there in the valley. And then this one gets even a little bit better. Downtown Monroe looking good this morning. Now, as you're heading out the door, if you haven't been outside yet, it's a bit on the cool side. Let's do a temperature check. Out there in Monroe, 49 degrees, 50 degrees right now. In Charlotte and Boone, near freezing, 33 degrees. So grab that jacket. You'll want that this morning if you're up there in the mountains. 39 in Jefferson, 46 in Hickory, and about 40 degrees in Wadesboro. So this morning is now officially the coolest morning of the season so far. Previously, it was on October 10th where we were at 51 degrees, but again, now we have officially recorded 50 degrees here in Charlotte. Bus stop forecast is going to be cool this morning, but sunny and nice as we're heading into the afternoon as those temperatures will continue to rise into right around those mid-50s. So as those kids are coming home from school, it's going to be a good day to do something fun outside. We're looking at 73 in Hickory, 75 for Albemarle, and our satellite and radar is great. I mean, we're looking at clear conditions all across the Carolinas. However, our eyes are really focused on the strong cold front. It's moving across the country, bringing with it around a severe weather for the Mid-South. Once that front reaches the Carolinas, thankfully, it loses its energy. And I say thankfully because it's actually going to trigger some severe weather today, but especially on Saturday. The Storm Prediction Center has several states highlighted for that possible risk, especially areas shaded in that orange. We're talking about severe weather season now, not only in spring, but also in the fall time, where we could see a mixed bag of tornadoes, strong damaging winds, even hail. So it's a good thing that that front isn't reaching us and it loses that strength at least once it does, but we could use a little bit more rain. By the time the front reaches the Carolinas, we'll have some light passing showers possible on Sunday, so really not too concerned about it. And a lot of us, we won't even get rain. However, I would just keep the umbrella handy if you do have any plans for your Sunday. Here's Futurecast. The rain will start up in the mountains. Here's about noon, so keep that in mind. Then it continues to track off to the north and to the east. A cloudy and cooler Sunday, but again, stray showers not out of the question. Back behind that front, we have a gorgeous start start to next week. You can see it here in my Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. We'll get rid of those clouds, and then early Monday morning, upper 40s again, low 70s as we're heading into our Monday, and then a little warmer again, near 80 degrees come Tuesday. Destiny, what's going on with the roads this morning?
Yeah, the good news is we have a beautiful sunrise over Lake Norman out near Cornelius and Davidson this morning. Also, some good news is that the crash that was in this area has cleared, very short-lived. We love to see it. This is what we have now cleared on I-77 northbound near mile marker 28 this morning. One lane was blocked. It has since reopened, but as you can see, it might be a little bit slow as you're approaching to go over Lake Norman this morning. And it's that usual time of the morning that we would see congestion anyway. So just a heads up there. Going back into the Charlotte area, really south, we're seeing a crash right in front of Ardrey Hill High School. This is eastbound Ardrey Hill Road, right before Bo Riley Road. There's a crash in the right turn lane, and it's just causing some backups in that area, especially out near Community House Road, which is intersects with Ardrey Hill Road there. We're also seeing another crash due to a tree that had fallen here on Pineville Matthews Road, both directions near Beckmore Place. Heads up also if you're approaching Pineville Matthews Road from Providence Road. It just has a residual backup there as well in the intersection. And this is what our picture is showing. So injury incident involving a downed tree, and the left lanes are blocked in both directions. So just one lane of traffic moving both ways in that area. Continuing to follow this long-standing stalled vehicle as well, North Tryon Street, or rather northbound Tryon Street at Westinghouse Boulevard. And here's a wider map view of the Charlotte area this morning as you make your way to where you have to go this morning.
Breaking news now into our newsroom. A man is now facing several gun charges accused of taking a gun onto West Charlotte High School's campus yesterday. According to records, 41-year-old Sandell Brooks was arrested after he went on the campus threatening to shoot two of his family members and then himself. No word yet on what led up to the incident. We have reached out to CMS and we're waiting to hear back.
Also breaking this morning, 2 more suspects have been arrested in the deadly shooting in North Charlotte. Records showed that DeAndre Chisholm and Justin Jones both face several charges, including first-degree murder for the death of 19-year-old Joel Kleska. CMPD says Kleska was shot and killed Sunday night at a shopping center on Beatty'sford Road near Sunset Road. Chisholm faced a judge yesterday and was denied bond. Meanwhile, Jones will face a judge this morning at 10 o'clock.
One man faces at least 13 years in prison for the murder of a 23-year-old man in Northeast Charlotte. It happened back in 2020. Prosecutors say Lee Y. was returning home after visiting his parents when Joshua Garman flagged him down and shot him 3 times in the head and face in a failed robbery attempt. Garman broke down as he asked for forgiveness. He shared that he suffered years of abuse growing up and is now trying to change his life.
First, I would like to apologize to y'all so deeply. To the family of Mr. Watt, I apologize to Infinity about the tragic situation. If there was anything I could do to bring Mr. Watt back, I would do so. I want you all to know that I am not a monster, I am not a serial killer, I am not a demon. These charges do not define who I am as a person, but they are my mistakes.
Lee Y's mom says as hard as it is, she forgives Garman.
North Carolina is now joining a nationwide lawsuit to block President Trump's order to cancel billions of dollars in solar grants. Attorney General Jeff Jackson says the EPA acted illegally and the money rightfully belongs to the state. North Carolina was supposed to get $156 million to create jobs and to lower energy bills for more than 12,000 families. However, only $6 million was delivered before President Trump took office. The president ended the program in August. A U.S. appeals court has ruled to reinstate the state's health plan's exclusion of gender transition procedures. This stems from the Cato versus Falwell case that will now head back to district court. The exclusion dates back to the 1990s, but was inactive during ongoing court challenges. The NC Values Coalition issued a response to those developments, saying that taxpayers should not have to pay for these procedures, adding that they commend the state treasurer for defending North Carolina families.
7:41 right now on WCNC Plus. Up next, former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton has been indicted. We'll break down the charges he's facing. Right now, former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton is facing serious accusations of mishandling classified information. And just yesterday, he was indicted.
Now, Bolton, who's since become a critic of the president, is now the third outspoken figure facing criminal charges in recent weeks. NBC's Laura Jarrett has more on the accusations and how Trump is responding.
He once served as the national security advisor to the president. John Bolton facing 18 counts of mishandling national defense information, indicted by a federal grand jury in Maryland. President Trump reacting just as the indictment was made public.
I think he's a bad guy. Yeah, he's a bad guy.
Bolton's feud with President Trump well documented. The former national security advisor publishing a scathing memoir in 2020 detailing his time in the first Trump White House. The meticulous notes he kept while working for Trump now at the center of his indictment. Prosecutors alleging Bolton often took handwritten notes on a yellow pad, later transcribing them into Word documents, and then secretly emailing two family members diary-like entries, including details about future attacks and foreign adversaries, spanning over 1,000 pages. Prosecutors adding that years after Bolton left office, someone believed to be associated with Iran hacked Bolton's personal email account and gained unauthorized access to the classified information. Bolton's attorney saying he did not unlawfully share or store any information, adding Bolton kept diaries, that is not a crime. For years now, Bolton and Trump have traded barbs, with the president criticizing his handling of classified documents.
Classified information, that's illegal, and you go to jail for that.
Bolton has maintained the book he published contained no classified material, and a lengthy FBI probe ultimately ending during the Biden administration with no charges. But this summer, the FBI conducted searches of Bolton's home and office, officials seen with boxes in hand, also seizing his phones and computers.
He's already come after me and several others in withdrawing the protection that we had. I think it is a retribution presidency.
According to two senior federal law enforcement sources, Bolton is expected to surrender to authorities today, with a court appearance likely later in the day. Once U.S. Marshals have him in custody, a time will be set for his appearance before a judge.
Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to have another update on your forecast for this Friday and a look at the morning commute.
Good Good Friday morning, everyone. It is a beautiful start to the day, no matter where you're watching from. Across the Carolinas, at least, we're all waking up to beautiful clear skies and sunshine. But really, the big story today is how cool it feels. It's officially the coolest morning of the season so far. 50 degrees in Charlotte, 46 in Hickory. Look at Boone, 35 degrees. So yes, grab a jacket as you're heading out the door. You will want it. But by the afternoon, it's still going to be so nice and very comfortable, especially if you're heading up in the mountains today. Banner Elk, 67 degrees. Out there at Blowing Rock, 66. Low 60s for areas up towards Boone. Now, as we're looking over towards the foothills, mainly into the lower end of the 70s under clear sunny skies. Morganton, 75 degrees this afternoon and 75 right here in the Queen City, Lincolnton, Shelby. Very comfortable conditions if you want to get outside and enjoy some nice fresh air. 75 for Lancaster at around 74 as we're looking towards Chester. Now, as far as the rain goes, as we're heading into the weekend, no rain today, no rain tomorrow. Sunday will be the day that we'll watch for some very scattered rain showers. Now, I'm not talking about widespread or heavy rain, and there's even a possibility that really most of the day actually stays dry. I think the higher chances of actually seeing the rain will be up in the mountains, and then back behind that front next week, it's going to be beautiful all over again. So let's take you into our Futurecast, helping you make those plans for your weekend. This will be on Sunday. So a quiet start to the day. If you want to wake up, head out to a farmer's market. We do have cloudy conditions, but then right around noon, we'll start to see some rain showers move in across the mountains. It's not a whole lot. There's about 2 o'clock. Still a few sprinkles passing through Charlotte. Not out of the question, but again, it's not going to be heavy downpours or thunderstorms or anything like that. Then by Sunday evening, that front is out of here. Back behind it, clear skies. That'll set us up for a really pretty start to early next week. If you want to take your family out to the pumpkin patch this weekend, it's going to be a nice weekend to do that. A little on the warm side on Saturday, but hey, at least it's nice and sunny. Sunday, a high of 72. Definitely more clouds on Sunday, and then again, scattered showers will be possible. If you're heading out to the mountains this weekend, it is going to be perfect for peak fall foliage. Saturday, a high of 72 degrees, and then really as we're heading through Sunday, there's a pretty big difference in that forecast, so you might consider going on Saturday, even though it's going to be a busy one, because on Sunday, a high of only 56 degrees and a better chance for actually seeing those rain showers, especially if you're in the mountains. Now, I know this is many families' family tradition, yearly tradition, going out to Banner Elk. It's the Woolly Worm Festival. Starting this weekend, Saturday, 72 degrees, really, really comfortable, very quite pleasant. And then on Sunday, again, cooling down in the mountains, and those rain showers will make way. It's going to be beautiful out there in Boone. I mean, look at this. This is a live camera shot. Not even a single cloud in the sky. That's out there at App State, where lots of people are coming in from out of town because App State is at home for their homecoming game on Saturday, starting at 3:30, taking on the Coastal Carolinas. You can see temperatures will be nice and mild. 70s throughout the day. That is a nice looking fall forecast. We'll have more on our 7-day forecast coming up in a little while, but for now, Destiny, what's the latest out on those roads?
Yeah, it's a real active morning right now. We've had one accident clear, so that's good news, but just prepare for congestion really across the map this morning. I-77 northbound out near the northern part of Mecklenburg County above the 485 loop. I-77 northbound in South Charlotte, and of course, I-85 northbound out near Gastonia. But I want to focus in on the southern part of our area right now. We still have one lane blocked due to a crash on Pineville Matthews Road, both directions at Beckmore Place, and it's because of a tree that fell. So a downed tree caused an injury incident with the left lane blocked in both directions on Pineville Matthews Road. So just a heads up there. This is the accident that is cleared in front of Ardrey-Kell High School. It had the eastbound lane of Ardrey-Kell, or the right turn lane on eastbound Ardrey-Kell Road blocked. Nothing to worry about there now. And then we do have some new accidents that we hadn't gotten to yet. Providence Road West at Strathmore Drive out near the state line, and then moving into the Steel Creek area, Westinghouse Boulevard at I-77. And then continuing to follow this, it was reported around 6:20 this morning, and it's still causing issues for folks traveling north on Tryon Street at Westinghouse Boulevard. So just a heads up, here are your AM drive times into the Charlotte area.
Destiny thinks Spotify says it's teaming up with major labels, including Sony, Universal, and Warner, to help shape how AI is used in the music industry.
Spotify says the company will empower the artists and songwriters those labels represent and connect them with their fans who support them. Spotify is investing in new AI research lab, but hasn't shared details on specific tools just yet. The company says the collab will focus on partnerships with record labels, fair pay, and building stronger artist-fan connections. If I'm honest, I have no idea what any of that means.
I don't.
I have no idea what that means. Spotify is using AI.
Yep.
That's not the only big partnership happening. Nope. DoorDash announcing it's teaming up with Waymo, but this is, I guess, only in the Phoenix area. In the next few months, Arizona residents will get themselves some deliveries from fully self-driving Waymo cars instead of a person. The goal is to have a seamless contact. Well, this is their PR stuff. Of course, that's what they say. When orders arrive in Waymo, customers will be able to grab their items. You know how it works. We had Waymo here in Charlotte for a little bit.
How'd it go? We did?
Not always great. There's famous video of one of the cars merging onto Independence Boulevard, and it didn't go so well.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I mean,
That's hard for a human to do.
Right?
Nonetheless,
you're right about that.
driverless
You're right.
car.
That's right.
That's the thing. So, driverless cars now delivering lunch or dinner for you.
Have you ever been in a driverless car? I haven't yet.
I don't know if I could do that.
No, I know.
Kind of scary.
A bit unnerving.
All right, we need to take a quick break, but you keep it right here on WCNC Plus. Look at this. Just a beautiful shot of uptown, 755. But Jessica, are we now into the upper 40s in Charlotte? Is it official? 48. All right, guys, make sure you have your jacket if you make your way out this morning. We'll be right back with an update on the weather and traffic, and then the day's top headlines at the top of the hour.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful start to the day. Temperatures are mainly into the 40s and 50s. You can see we're mainly at 52 degrees now in Charlotte. Earlier this morning, we actually dropped down to 50 degrees, so it is officially the coolest day of the season so far. It's beautiful, that's for sure. Look at you go out there in Monroe. Plenty of sunshine, nice and clear here in the Queen City as well. And then look at Boone, 35 degrees. It's going to be one of those days where maybe you grab a sweatshirt early in the morning, toss it aside by the afternoon, sunny and 75 degrees. No complaining about that Friday forecast. Again, these are our low temperatures so far this morning, the coolest temperatures that we've seen so far, 33 in Boone, and again, we did hit 50 degrees in Charlotte, which did beat that earlier cooler day on October 10th. Meanwhile, it's going to be nice as those kids are coming home from school, 70s and mid, and lots of sunshine across the area. All right, Destiny, going to send it over to you for an update on traffic.
Yeah, this morning it is getting pretty congested out there across all of our interstates. That traffic jam on I-85 northbound is now caused by an accident on at the Cox Road exit. So I-85 northbound at Cox Road, also following a crash on Pineville Matthews Road that's been going on for a while now due to a downed tree.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. Today, people across the city of Charlotte are getting ready for a nationwide protest. It's going to happen right here in Charlotte. The event is called No Kings 2. It's hosted by Indivisible Charlotte and partner groups, building on momentum from a similar rally back in June that focused on justice, equality, and democratic values. That rally starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow. It goes until noon at First Ward Park, followed by a 1-mile march through Uptown. Organizers say it's a peaceful stand against authoritarians and a reminder that power in America belongs to the people.
Whether people are Democrats or independents or Republicans, they are coming out on October 18th. They're coming out for their future. They're coming out to make sure that grocery prices don't keep escalating. They're coming out to make sure that they have a future and their kids have a future.
No one is saying that we shouldn't have strong borders and that we shouldn't get criminals out, but they're taking U.S. citizens. They're taking people legally allowed to be here.
The majority of people are not happy with the policies of the Trump administration and his push towards authoritarianism.
I think more and more people are going to continue to mobilize.
Tomorrow's protest in Uptown is just one of more than 2,000 across the country. We have a full list of protests in our area on our WCNC Charlotte mobile app.
Right now, a man accused of killing his girlfriend is back in Alexander County after being arrested out of state. Police say 32-year-old William Shook is charged with murdering 54-year-old Jamie McLeod on October 7th. Authorities say the two were dating. Shook was arrested in Ohio 2 days after McLeod's death on an outstanding larceny warrant. He's now being held without bond at the Alexander County Jail. All right, take a look at your screen. Kings Mountain Police searching for 30-year-old Julia Carcamo. She was reported missing on Monday after being last seen Saturday in the town of Duncan, South Carolina. If you know where she might be, call Kings Mountain Police. All right, 8:02 right now. Turning back to your forecast with Majestic. Majestic, so far the coldest morning we've seen of the season.
That's exactly right. And I just want to let you know, we just got new data coming in. And now these are the lows that we've had so far this morning. Not our current temperature, but just so far this morning. 48 degrees. We did it here in Charlotte. 33 out there in Boone, 45 in Hickory, and 39 in Jefferson. So yes, the coolest morning of the season so far. It feels crisp out there. We have those cool temperatures. We have dry air that has really settled in from the north. And the best part, we have clear sunny skies. It's a beautiful start to the day out there in Monroe. Right now, though, our current temperature is 52 in Charlotte, 48 in Monroe. Out towards Sherrod, checking in at 45. You can see how pretty the Queen City is this morning. If you're somebody who likes to wake up, sit outside, maybe you take your hot cup of coffee, grab a blanket, and soak up some of that nice crisp air. It's a great day to do it. I would love to do it if I was home. Now, as we're heading into tomorrow, it's going to be a warmer day. 80s do return. Sunday, a cold front moves through. It's going to pull in more cloud coverage and then the possibility of seeing some scattered rain showers. Overall, though, it's beautiful outside. 48 in Monroe, 52 in Charlotte, and Boone, you are just chilly this morning, 34 degrees. As we're heading into the afternoon, sunny skies, 75 degrees. I think most people like a forecast like that. Whether you have plans to do something outside today, maybe you're heading out to go golfing or you need to work in your yard, these conditions will be really nice. 74 in Chester, and then there's that satellite radar. Clear skies across the Carolinas, so no matter where you are in North or South Carolina, we are really getting spoiled this morning with picture perfect conditions. Yes, it's a little cold, but it will warm up. We're watching this strong cold front move across the country this upcoming weekend. It's going to bring around a severe weather across the mid-south, but once that front gets close to the Carolinas, it loses a lot of its energy. Now, it's kind of good because that cold front is going to trigger strong to severe thunderstorms, severe weather possible as we're heading through Saturday. Notice several states highlighted. This is by the Storm Prediction Center saying that there's a good chance that cold front could trigger some stronger storms, and some of those storms could even produce strong damaging winds, large hail, and even tornadoes. And that's not out of the ordinary. Remember, we have those two different severe weather seasons. We have one in spring, but we also have a secondary one in fall. Well, again, once that front gets closer to us, it loses a lot of its energy. So good, because we don't want the severe weather, but we could have used at least a little rain. We do have some chances for rain showers on Sunday, but it's not looking all that promising. Let's just go ahead and talk about about Sunday. Here's that futurecast. So the first half of the day looks dry and cloudy. Remember, 80s on Saturday, 70s on Sunday. Rain showers start. This is going to be Sunday about 11 o'clock in the morning out in the mountains. I think if you're in the mountains, you'll have your best bet for rain earlier in the day, and then it really just breaks apart and becomes extremely hit and miss. 9 o'clock Sunday night still in Charlotte. I definitely think we will not have widespread or heavy rain, nothing like that. But again, if you don't want to get wet by any rain, maybe just keep the umbrella handy. Clear skies back behind that cold front. Is going to be a gorgeous start to early next week. You can see that there in our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. A whole lot of things going on this weekend. Hopefully you can at least get outside. If not, the Charlotte Checkers start as we're heading into tonight. They're going to be at home, and then we have our Charlotte FC game on Saturday with a high of 82. All right, Destiny, any changes out on those roads this morning?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing an active morning just kind of transform. A couple of new accidents, a couple of accidents getting cleared this morning. I-77 at Carowinds. We've kind of have a lull in the stop and go traffic here, but it is still there. Don't mistake it. We do have some traffic building on I-77 northbound in South Charlotte, I-85 northbound near Gastonia, even I-485 out near Matthews. So just prepare this morning for these conditions. We do have an accident over at this spot here on I-85 northbound. That's at Cox Road this morning. So just a bit of a couple miles stretch, you will see some backups, likely due to, in part at least, to this crash, because usually it's just backed up anyway. And then we do have a new accident on the I-45 outer loop out in Northeast Charlotte. This is at the University City Boulevard exit 33. And then going down south, we do have an update with this crash that we've been following for a while now. Due to a downed tree, we just now have one lane blocked on eastbound Pineville Matthews Road, but on the westbound side, all lanes are open. So a little bit easier there near Beckmore Place. This is our most recent picture of the incident. Police are on scene, but as you can see, this is the eastbound side where one lane is open and then everything is as normal on the westbound side. So hopefully that gets squared away pretty soon, because it's also impacting traffic on Providence Road, which is a busy thoroughfare this time of the morning. Here are your drive times into the Charlotte area. Definitely heavy coming in from Gastonia and Matthews.
Cornelius police are issuing a new warning following dozens of break-ins in the area. Investigators say criminals aren't only targeting unlocked cars, but breaking through windows as well. They tell us items like computers, bags, even weapons left in cars are luring thieves in. The break-ins have been spread throughout the entire town.
You know, you have people that are traveling and may not want to take all their valuables inside when they're traveling and going and staying in a hotel. But we're seeing apartment complexes, neighborhoods. It's just the opportunity that exists.
Police say there have been close to 50 break-ins in just the past few days. CMS is sharing details for new security measures for what it calls high-profile football games and other events. These are events that district leaders expect to draw big crowds and those that have a history of security concerns.
All right, so for these games, the number of tickets are going to be capped. Folks won't be able to buy tickets at the game site, and there will be added security, separate concession stands, and attendance will be limited for students from non-competing schools and those under the age of 16. The district says it's going to determine which events get this designation on the Monday before each game.
Coming up, a vintage t-shirt inspired by Taylor Swift is going viral. That's not all. We're going to show you how it's also helping sea otters on the West Coast. That's next.
8:11 on WCNC+. A piece of TV history just hit the market. The home from the 90s teen drama Dawson's Creek is for sale for the first time since it was built 150 years ago. And get this, it's not far away. It's in Wilmington.
That's the good part. The 4-bedroom home sits on nearly 2 acres and has its own private dock. It was built with wood from a shipwreck and moved to its current location by a horse over log rollers. Now, It is livable, as you can see there, but it does need a bit of work. The price, though, it is not cheap. Guess what? It's listed at $3.2 million.
Yeah, I mean, it does need some work. I mean, a little curb appeal could help, but very nice property. And
great location.
Right?
All right.
Gorgeous.
Well, more than $1 million raised, all to help some sea otters in California. It's thanks to a vintage T-shirt that Taylor Swift wore in her movie, the official release party of a showgirl.
Jasmine DeJarnette has the story behind the shirt and the surprising impact it's having.
Leave it to fans of the iconic Taylor Swift to bring a classic 32-year-old Monterey Bay Aquarium t-shirt back to life. Liz McDonald, one of the masterminds behind honoring the Swifties' request, said this was an all-hands-on-deck effort.
We were in the archives digging through. We were contacting former aquarium staff members, all trying to find out. And then, of course, all the Swifties online were also doing their own sleuthing. And I think it was really a whole group effort to bring the aquarium and Liberty Graphics together so that we could make this happen.
This is the aquarium's way of saying thank you to Swift for the shout out and another to her fans, who not only flooded the aquarium's comments, but supported the aquarium's mission the only way Swifties know how.
We also saw an uptick in $13 donations, which is wonderful. That's like a little thank you from the Swifties, so we really appreciate that.
The aquarium added a special spin to claiming the tea. They're asking fans to donate $65.13 to match Swift, letting fans show their appreciation for the adorable sea otters and the aquarium's history of ocean conservation. Like always, Swift fans were ready for it.
I came out this morning, 9:40. I bought it 9:50. And I'm so excited for it to come.
After the fundraiser went live at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, $1 million out of the $1.3 million goal had been raised in just 5 hours.
Ever since I saw the movie, I've been checking online, on Reddit, on social media, are they going to re-release the shirt?
Again, all the money raised will go back to the aquarium to help otters like Ivy, Ruby, and Opal, whose names happen to reference lyrics in the Stars songs.
And Opal, her name was voted on by the fans, so we don't know. Was Taylor one of the ones who voted? I'm not sure. Who can say? But only she knows.
And Swift, leaving a permanent mark wherever she goes.
I love that there's a connection between Taylor Swift, who is an international pop star, and bringing in some local recognition to Monterey Bay Aquarium. I feel like it's such a cool collab and just an amazing show of the power of the Swifties.
You're our chief Swiftie correspondent.
Yes. As a non-Swiftie, I did enjoy, though, I have to do a disclaimer. I did enjoy her appearance on the New Heights podcast because it was a way to, get an inside look at her life as well as Travis Kelce's. Okay. And Swifties say that there's an Easter egg with this shirt because there was a story that was shared, an anecdote about how Travis really wants to rescue an otter and he really wants it to be like a situation where an otter needs his help and he rescues.
Oh, I get that part more than I do the Taylor Swift part. I think otters are the cutest animal.
Is he really referring to an otter, or is he
Yeah, he referred to an otter. He really loves otters, apparently.
So does Chris.
Yeah, Chris Mulcahy does too.
Chris and otters they're really the cutest little
They really are.
They are.
And they really are.
I think there's a story about how they hold hands with each other.
They do.
They do. Yeah, when they float.
Yeah,
they hold hands.
That's so adorable.
Super sweet.
I've been to the aquarium. They're beautiful. Just so gorgeous. All right, what are we talking about now? Weather?
I think we're going to get weather after the break.
After the break.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we're talking all things weekend weather and news. Good morning, everyone. We are heading into an absolutely gorgeous Friday morning. Take a look at this. We have nothing but clear conditions. Monroe, Dallas, Lake Norman, even right here in the Queen City. We're talking about cool temperatures and not even a single cloud in the sky. Now, I want to talk about the temperatures this morning. This graphic shows the temperatures that were the coolest so far today. So since midnight, 48 degrees. We hit that in Charlotte, 47 in Monroe, out towards Albemarle. 40, 38 for Salisbury. Now look at Boone. That is a cold start to your Friday morning, near freezing temperatures. Current temperatures right now, though, we're already starting to see them rise. We're at 52 here in Charlotte, 45 in Hickory. Feeling pretty nice, though. If you want to leash up the dog, go out for a walk this morning. It is 47 in Statesville. Throughout the rest of our day today, we'll see those temperatures get very comfortable, mainly into the low to mid 70s for those forecasted highs today. More sunshine as we're heading into the middle half of our morning and even into the afternoon, and then a few more clouds will sneak in later on tonight. High temperatures, though, over the next 10 days. Mid 70s today, very comfortable for just about everyone. And then as we're heading into tomorrow, it does get a little warmer as temperatures return back into the 80s just for a day, though, and then cooler as we're heading through our Sunday. Sunday will also be our next best chance to actually see some passing rain showers, but 40%. Remember, that means we think 40% of our viewing area will actually get at least some rain. So you can see most of us won't have any, but we think there could be some rain showers. Here's about 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, impacting the mountains first. Then once the rain showers taper out of the mountains, they have a hard time even holding together. I do think Sunday will be more of a cloudier day and a cooler day because of all those clouds. And then as that front moves out of our area, we'll have clear conditions behind it, and that'll set us up for a really nice start to early next week. But this weekend, maybe you're packing up the family, you're heading out to the pumpkin patch, you want to get your pumpkins and your mums. It's going to be a gorgeous day to do that on Saturday. Sunday, still not terrible. I want you to know that 72 for your high, still a more cloudier and cool day, and it's not going to be a washout type of day by any means. And if you're heading out to the mountains, peak fall foliage is this weekend. It's going to be so beautiful. Busy, though, on Saturday with a high of 72, and then on Sunday, cooler with temperatures only rising into the mid 50s. Plus, we do have some rain showers. That'll be the same setup out there at Banner Elk if you're heading out to the Woolly Worm Festival. Saturday or Sunday, you can see Saturday would probably be the best day to do that. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend out there in Boone. Stunning blue skies and sunshine as you're heading out the door. But it's not just today. Tomorrow is a homecoming game. Coastal Carolina versus App State. Saturday at 3:30, and this is really perfect football weather. We're talking about sunshine. You're tucked away in the mountains. Temperatures will be into the mid 70s at kickoff time, so should be fantastic. Or there's also the Renaissance Fair. I went to that. It was a whole lot of fun. It's going to be another busy weekend for them. Low 80s as we're heading into our Saturday, and then again on Sunday about 72, but we will have some chances for some passing showers. There's that Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. And if you need another thing that you could do this weekend, the Charlotte Checkers, they are going on tonight. It's going to be a big night for them tonight. Sunny skies throughout the afternoon, even into Saturday, and then the Charlotte FC game is going to be on Saturday. All right, Destiny, going to send it over to you. It's beautiful for that Friday morning commute.
It definitely is a little chilly, but definitely beautiful out there. And what is also beautiful is that we're seeing a lull kind of with some of the congestion that we see this time of the morning. Things are getting better out there, but we're still seeing, of course, the congestion on I-77 northbound in South Charlotte, I-85 northbound in Gastonia. And that is for a reason, in part due to this accident on I-85 north at Cox Road. We usually see congestion this time of the morning, but just be aware that that accident is still active on scene there. Going now to the other side of the area, I-45 outer loop at University City Boulevard. This has since cleared, so great news there with that accident. We have another situation that we've been talking about since 6 a.m. I had to report that this has cleared. Tryon Street at Westinghouse Boulevard. Things are all cleared up if you're headed northbound on Tryon this morning. And then this is still an issue. We have police on scene dealing with this downed tree on the eastbound lane side of this accident, Pineville Matthews Road at Beckmore Place. All the westbound lanes are open, so that is good news here, but just be aware that it's still causing backups on Pineville Matthews Road out near Matthews as well, so not just affecting the Charlotte area. This morning we're also following this new accident on Sharon Amity Road south of Central Avenue, and this has the southbound left lane blocked.
Destiny, thank you. It was the day they dreamed of and planned for, but wedding day plans quickly changed for a North Carolina couple when the bride-to-be went into labor. That's when hospital staff stepped in to help. Take a look.
She woke me up this morning and she was like, my water broke. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I was like, we're supposed to get married today. From there, we're just trying to figure out how we could still get the marriage going. Talk to the nurses. Next thing you know, that was like the news around the hospital. I'm hearing it. It was crazy. Then, they came in and it was like, hey guys, we got it going.
She said, do you know anyone who, a chaplain that can do a wedding because the mother and the bride-to-be have gone into labor. And I said, how quickly do you need the wedding? And she said, pretty quick. It was very clear to me when I met them to begin with that this was something that they wanted. They had prepared for it to be part of this humongous day for them. With the joining of hands and the giving and receiving of rings, I announce to you that they are husband and wife. I don't take any of this for granted. This hospital has been a place for birth and life and healing and hope, and it's important to me to be able to be part of it.
It was the perfect setting, perfect moment. I really appreciate everybody for what they did, especially the minister for coming out and making this happen for us. This is definitely one for the numbers. Like this is definitely one for the numbers. So 10 years from now, 30, 40 years from now, I will always like draw back to this moment right here. This was very special.
Now, this just happened right up the road in Greensboro at Moses Cone Hospital. Congratulations to the newlyweds.
You can't get any bigger than that.
That was a lot happening in one day. The newlyweds say they plan to name their baby girl Jasmine Rain Smith.
Congrats on parenthood and on the wedding as well. Big day there. All right, 8:24 right now. We're going to take a quick break here on WCNC Plus. We're back with another check of your weekend forecast coming up in just a minute.
Good Friday morning, everyone. It is gorgeous outside this morning, and let me tell you, it's officially the coolest morning of the season so far. Temperatures did slip down into the upper 40s this morning in Charlotte, 33 for your low there in Boone. Right now, it's already a little bit warmer than that, but it is officially a nice, beautiful fall morning. Dallas, you're looking good. Beautiful blue skies and a whole lot of sunshine. Currently, we're at 52 degrees in the Queen City, 48 through Lancaster out towards Monroe, 35 right now in Boone. We'll have plenty of sunshine even into the afternoon, one of those days where you might want to grab a jacket as you're heading out the door, but you won't need it by the afternoon, calling for mostly sunny skies with highs rising back into the mid-70s. Get outside and enjoy the nice weather this weekend. Maybe you're heading out to the pumpkin patch, grabbing those pumpkins and maybe some mums. 82 degrees for tomorrow, so we'll see those temperatures increase. Rain chances only a 40% chance for Sunday, but temperatures will slip back down into the low 70s. A whole lot going on around town. Hopefully you can enjoy the nice weather, but for now, Destiny, how are the roads?
Things are getting a little bit better out there, still seeing some hot spots of traffic backups on our interstates, but we have some accidents that are clearing, so that is good news. This one's still lingering around near Gastonia, I-85 northbound at Cox Road. We also have an accident here that we have an update with it. All lanes open on westbound Pineville Matthews Road at Beckmore Place, one eastbound lane open in this area.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus. The time now is 8:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. Federal authorities investigating a Charlotte activist raiding 3 properties he owns.
You may recall Cedric Dean was most recently in the headlines back in June after his substance abuse recovery program called HELP took over the Baymont Inn from another group, Heal Charlotte. But after safety concerns were reported, he pulled out of that location. Authorities say Dean ran a massive Medicaid fraud scheme that targeted some of Charlotte's most vulnerable residents. WCNC Charlotte's Tradisha Woodard looks into the allegations.
Well, documents allege Cedric Dean and his company promised things like free food and temporary housing in exchange for people's Medicaid information. Investigators say his team then continuously used those identification numbers to bill for health services that were never provided.
When FBI agents showed up at Cedric Dean's home, neighbors knew something big was happening.
That home just always seemed a little off or odd. We didn't know who lived there. A lot of people seemed to live there. It's kind of a revolving door of people.
Boxes carried out, federal vehicles lining the street.
Guns were pointed at the house, but it looked peaceful. Whoever lived there was coming out of the house with their hands up.
It comes as the federal government alleges Cedric Dean ran a massive Medicaid fraud scheme, one that targeted Charlotte's homeless community. We spoke to a victim who says she's not surprised. She had interactions with Dean when he took over the Heal Charlotte hotel.
Did I expect this to happen? Absolutely, I did. Yep. I prayed for it.
Federal court documents allege Dean and his company, CDH, promised free food or temporary housing. But what they really wanted was access to their Medicaid information.
They were saying, we need your Medicaid information. to pay for your room.
The government claims Dean then used those numbers to bill Medicaid for mental health services that were never provided. And they say the money added up fast. Court documents show CDH billed Medicaid for $14.5 million in services and received nearly $9 million in payments.
They would go around to neighborhoods and pick those people up and sign them up. If they didn't have Medicaid, they would sign them up for the Medicaid so that they could start billing Medicaid for the individual, saying that they're getting treatment.
The complaint also details red flags like billing for care given to someone who had already died, and in another case, giving out a plate of food, then billing Medicaid for $3,200 for crisis management.
We never saw any therapists or any AA meetings or any of those such things going on.
The FBI is now moving to seize what it calls ill-gotten gains, including 5 vehicles, 2 motorhomes used to recruit homeless people, nearly $150,000 in bank accounts, and 4 properties in Charlotte and Shelby worth more than $2 million combined.
She did so many things to people that were very harmful.
Now, right now, the FBI hasn't said whether Dean is in custody or if charges have been formally filed, but this federal investigation is far from over. Back to you.
That was Tradisha Woodard reporting. We should mention this story first came on our radar thanks to multiple tips from you at home. It allowed us to start questioning officials and to get information that you were looking for. You can always reach us by emailing newstips@WCNC.com or just message us on social media. All right, Majestic says we are officially in the lowest temperatures that we've seen so far this season for the mornings.
We did hit 48 degrees in Charlotte. We're already starting to warm up, though. Now back into those low 50s. It feels crisp outside. It looks gorgeous. Here's a live camera. This one's coming in from downtown Monroe. Most of us waking up to a view like that with clear conditions. It's still 35 degrees out there in Boone, though. It's a chilly start to the morning. 45 in Rock Hill. 52 degrees right now in Charlotte. And again, there it is, a beautiful Queen City. Charlotte looking nice on this Friday morning. By the afternoon, plan for sunny skies and mid-70s returning. If you have plans on Saturday, it's going to be gorgeous. Low 80s, though, return, so an increase in those temperatures. On Sunday, we have a cold front that pushes through the area. It's going to pull in more cloud coverage, some lingering rain showers as well. We'll talk about that, but we're sticking with the good stuff right now because right now it is beautiful even there in Boone. Look at all those gorgeous trees continuing to change colors, but it surely is a little chilly. 35 degrees up there in the mountains. By the afternoon, about 75 degrees in Lancaster, 72 in Cheraw, 73 in Hickory. Could be a good Friday night to go find some live music outside, maybe find a patio, have some lunch or dinner. It's going to feel fantastic. There's that satellite and radar. We have all clear conditions across the Carolinas, but really the big story will be this cold front that continues to move across the country, the Mid-South specifically over the weekend, bringing with it a round of severe weather. Remember, we have 2 severe weather seasons when we're looking at our year. We have one in the spring, but we also have one in the fall. So this is not totally out of the normal, but we're going to continue to watch the impacts that cold front is going to bring. Could see some stronger storms today across Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, but then as we're heading into our Saturday, the threat for severe weather really increases. The Storm Prediction Center has several states highlighted under that risk, but really we'll be watching the area shaded in orange. That's where we could see several tornadoes, strong damaging winds, even hail. And the good news is the cold front, once it actually reaches the Carolinas, it loses a lot of its energy. So we will not have any severe weather. Well, we could have used a little bit more rain because right now we only have about a 40% chance for some passing rain showers on Sunday. This is our futurecast on Sunday because this is our only opportunity for rain, not just in our 7-day forecast, but over the next 10 days. You can see there's about noon on Sunday, rain showers up in the mountains, and then it kind of starts to trickle out. There's 2 o'clock, so it's not even going to last that long. And could we see some rain showers in the Charlotte metro area? Yes, we could, but it's not going to last very long. It surely is not widespread or heavy rain, nothing like that. The Charlotte Checkers are at home tonight. It's going to be a great night to head out and go watch some hockey, or on Saturday if you have any plans. Hopefully some of those plans take you outside. The Charlotte FC game is on Saturday, 82 for our high. Sunday, again, not a bad day, just more cloud coverage and cooler. And again, a few hit and miss scattered scattered showers around the area. All right, Destiny, any updates on those roads this morning?
Yeah, we've had some things clear this morning, so that is good, but we still have some issues out there. This is I-85 out near Belmont this morning. Beautiful sunny morning, as you can see from the sun rays, but we do still have an issue here on I-85. It's not near Belmont, it's a little bit further, closer to Gastonia. I-85 north at Cox Road. The backup was very far reaching here past Cox Road, but now it seems to be closer to Lowell and McAdenville, so it could be improving, but the accident is still showing up on the map, so just a heads up there with all the backups. This is a new accident near Randolph Middle School this morning. Crash on Runnymede Lane at Colony Road. Just a bit of a medium and slow impact on the roads in this area. And then also we are following this, of course, it's continuing on. An accident involving a downed tree on Pineville Matthews Road. Police on scene trying to deal with the downed tree, and only one eastbound lane is open. All westbound lanes on the other side are open. So still an issue there, and we're continuing to follow it. This has cleared. Southbound lane was blocked southbound left lane was blocked on Sharon Amby Road south of Central Avenue. No problems there. And here's a wider view of the Charlotte area and all the traffic flow right at this time. Things are getting better out there. Things are improving, but of course, continue to take your time. Here, AM drive times into the Charlotte area still heavy, coming from Matthews and Belmont.
We continue to follow breaking news in our newsroom. A man now facing several gun charges, accused of taking a gun onto West Charlotte High School's campus yesterday. According to records, 41-year-old Sandell Brooks was arrested after he went on campus, threatening to shoot two of his family members and then himself. No word yet on what led up to the incident. We have reached out to CMS and we're waiting to hear back.
Also breaking this morning, 2 more suspects have been arrested in the deadly shooting in North Charlotte. Records show DeAndre Chisholm and Justin Jones both face several charges, including first-degree murder for the death of 19-year-old Joel Kleska. CMPD says Kleska was shot and killed Sunday night at a shopping center on Beatty'sford Road near Sunset Road. Chisholm faced a judge yesterday. He was denied bond. Meanwhile, Jones will face a judge this morning at 10 o'clock. North Carolina is now joining a nationwide lawsuit to block President Trump's order to cancel billions of dollars in solar grants. Attorney General Jeff Jackson says the EPA acted illegally and the money rightfully belongs to the state. North Carolina was supposed to get $156 million to create jobs and to lower energy bills for more than 12,000 families. However, only $6 million was delivered before President Trump took office. The president ended the program in August. A U.S. appeals court has ruled to reinstate the state health plan's exclusion of gender transition procedures. This stems from the Cato versus Falwell case that will now head back to district court. The exclusion dates back to the 1990s, but was inactive during ongoing court challenges. The NC Values Coalition issued a response to the developments, saying taxpayers should not have to pay for these procedures, adding that they commend the state treasurer for defending North Carolina families.
8:40 right now here on WCNC Plus. As we go to break, an exclusive shopping deal for some of our viewers.
Hey, you know I'm always trying to save you money, and I have a doozy for you today. It's about decorating your home for Halloween. And forget about the cookie cutter, big box store stuff. This is the good stuff. Come over here for a second. Look at these beautiful solid wood signs. Trick or treat, perfect for Halloween. And here's what I love about this. These are handcrafted. This is from Rustic Marlin, made in the USA. It's made by a husband and wife team, and it's not just for Halloween. They actually have beautiful stuff come over here for the fall as well. Hello, fall, and it works the entire season. What I also love about this is they have the little hanger on the back, so you can hang this inside of your house. And speaking of, they have a ton of products. Come on in here, perfect for your home. Look what I have laid out here. This is another Rustic Marlin tray. You can put cocktails here. You can put snacks, candy. I decorated it. You also have this solid wood sign. Remember, everything is solid wood. Everything is made in the USA. You can hang this. You can put it right here, and it's awesome. Now let's go in the kitchen. I have more to show you. Come on. Look how appetizing this looks with all the candy. Very Halloween-y, and when you clear it away, the designs are really awesome too. They come in all different shapes and sizes, so they can go all over your house with these blocks, really anywhere. Normally $16 to $70. We've gotten you an exclusive 25% off today. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
Right now, a Charlotte teacher assistant is facing serious charges. Police say 44-year-old Chandra Prabha Singh was arrested after allegedly cutting her husband's neck during an argument at their home on Sunday. Singh told investigators it was an accident while she was making breakfast, but her husband claimed she attacked him on purpose. Singh was listed online as working at End Haven Elementary in Ballantyne. She was released on a $10,000 bond and is now required to wear an electronic monitor and stay away from her husband. In Virginia, some are taking the Halloween spirit a bit too far. Police are searching for a masked trio trying to break into a home. It was all caught on camera. Katie Lesso explains how what may have started as a so-called prank has turned into a criminal investigation.
We're actively searching for you. We're going to ultimately find you.
Less than 24 hours after WUSA 9 first showed you this disturbing video. Alexandria police shared an update.
When I first saw the video, to be honest with you, I thought that this has to be a prank.
But Chief Tarek McGuire says this was anything but a prank.
I want to be very clear. This is a very serious matter. What was most concerning in this event is not only did they knock on the door, make alarming comments, but they went around to the rear of the residence, caused damage to the property.
They ripped the door screen.
Shayla told us Wednesday night that it's her mom's home.
My dad recently just died, so it's just like, I'm just glad I was there. Now she's in fear. She don't want to stay there by herself.
She says as soon as they realized this wasn't just some Halloween prank, they called police and even yelled that out, but the trio just continued. They were terrified, and this, she says, could have ended very differently.
It could have been bad. Our Second Amendment right was not used and could have been, like, being very transparent.
People that are in their residence according to our laws and laws across our nation can defend themselves. And so it's a warning to people. Do not go up to people's doors, make threats, and play with their lives, because it ultimately can end up in a dangerous event.
Which is why the chief says if you know the people behind these masks, even if it's your kid,
and you're a parent of them, I would make a recommendation to you to come forward and report your child. It is better to come forward so we can address this situation and work through it.
Katie Lesso with that report. Up next, North Carolina honors its musical legends, including country superstar Luke Combs. Our own Larry Sprinkle hosted that event. He'll join us to share more right after the break.
Not only is it beautiful outside, but it's still a little chilly out there for some spots. I want to let you know, if you're just turning on the stream, today has now been the officially most cool morning of the season so far. We had an overnight low of 48 degrees here in Charlotte, 47 in Monroe, 44 out there at Rock Hill, and 33 in Boone. Now, by this point, we're starting to warm up already. Clear skies do remain, though, but that sunshine, oh, it's going to be so nice for our Friday forecast. Right now, we're at 52 degrees in Charlotte, 45 out there towards Hickory, 50 degrees in Statesville, still 37 out there in Boone, feeling cool up there in the mountains. Plenty of sunshine into the afternoon. This is what the rest of our Friday looks like. No complaining about that. Sunny and 75 degrees for a whole lot of us. Gastonia planned for 75 this afternoon, 75 in Lancaster, and 73 out towards Wadesboro. If you're packing up the family, you're heading out to a pumpkin patch this weekend. It's going to be a nice day to do it, whether it's today or tomorrow. Sunny and nice, warmer tomorrow though, with 80s returning. Sunday, still not a bad day. We will have more cloud coverage and temperatures drop into the low 70s, but only a 40% chance for a few scattered showers. Again, Saturday is going to be the warm day as we're looking at the weekend, but also as we're looking at the next 10 days. Rain chances only on Sunday. That's going to be our next best opportunity over the weekend, but also over the next 10 days. This is noon on Sunday, where we could see some hit and miss rain showers up in the mountains by about 2 o'clock. Still just mainly cloudy skies. Not everyone will see this rain. In Charlotte, we may see a little bit, but it would likely be after sunset. Back behind it, though, that cold front will really clear things out nicely, and this will take us in to a beautiful start to early next week. And there's a quick peek at that weekend forecast. If you're heading up into the mountains, it's going to be a bit cooler on Sunday with some rain showers, especially in the morning. All right, Destiny, how are those roads? What's the very latest?
The very latest is we kind of had an explosion of accidents in the last 30 minutes or so. This is at Harris Boulevard and Linda Lake Drive. There's an accident in the intersection there, a pretty nasty one with some lanes that are closed on both sides of WT Harris Boulevard, eastbound and westbound lanes. So just be aware. I believe at least one lane is open for traffic to get by, but it's not a good situation there. And it's just a medium impact that we're seeing right now, but that's likely to build. All the way up in Rowan County, there are 2 left lanes closed on I-85 southbound near NC 152. This is out near China Grove, so just be aware of that this morning. That backup is starting to build for folks heading southbound towards Charlotte. Now, going back to the Charlotte area, we do have, or rather Gastonia, we still have I-85 northbound at Cox Road. We still have this accident that's been lingering for more than an hour now, and then backup starting to rebuild again on I-85 northbound, just starting to get busy once again out in Gaston County. A couple of new accidents as well, or at least this one is new. Brookshire Boulevard at Hoskins Road. This is a pretty big hot spot for crashes in my experience, and definitely one in the intersection here. And then we're going to this one near Randolph Middle School, crash on Runnymede Lane at Colony Road. And then we also have the accident involving a downed tree, still one eastbound lane open at this intersection, Pineville Matthews Road at Beckmore Place. Now, here's Larry.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. Time to talk about what's going on this weekend, what to do this weekend. A little over an hour drive down to Columbia, South Carolina. We'll take you to the Riverbank Zoo and Garden. Lots of sights and sounds, just a fun place to visit, especially for the whole family. Riverbanks Zoo right there in Columbia, South Carolina. Open every day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For tickets and information, riverbankzoo.org. It's all right there. You have the zoo, great visit, and also botanical gardens as well. So it's an all-day adventure. Even take a couple days if you'd like to. Don't miss out on it. And by the way, right now, it's Boo at the Zoo, a Halloween spectacular from now through the 30th. What to do this weekend? Riverbank Zoo in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
The North Carolina Music Hall of Fame welcomed its 2025 inductees last night. Our very own Larry Sprinkle. I mean, look how dapper Larry looks right there. Hosted the event in Mooresville. The 6 inductees included Charlotte's Chatty Hattie Leaper, Clyde Maddox, and country music star Luke Combs. Combs spoke with Larry about his journey following the event. He also talked about what North Carolina means to him. All right, so in the flesh, Larry Sprinkle. Yes. Shoulders with the big wigs last night.
He is such a nice man.
Yes.
He is really, a genuine person. I mean, as kind and as appreciative of the honor that he got. His family was. I met his mother. In fact, his mother said that before she moved to Nashville, she watched the show every single day.
That's what we like to hear.
Exactly.
Luke was born in Huntersville, North Carolina, and every single record he's released has gone to 1 million selling. He has sold more records, had more streams than any artist in the history of country music.
Oh, wow.
It was
did
a
not
great
know
show.
that.
Yeah, 6 people were honored last night, and it just goes to show the amazing amount of talent that's in the state of North Carolina. It's all
of
about
course.
those who came out of here, and so many legends. And Chatty Hattie, who was a DJ, she was one of the first African-American female DJs in the United States. Started when she was 14 years old.
My goodness.
WGIB Radio. She was honored and spoke last night. It was a very special time.
You're right, though, when you talk about the talent here in North Carolina, I mean, it's unmatched, really.
Totally. And then so many legends out here, and just the people there. I mean, other folks like Rob Deaton. Rob Deaton is the guy who produces all the Country Music Award shows. He's like the CMA Awards. He was honored last night. Dex Romweather and Dave Childers is from the area. He's a singer, songwriter, and artist.
Okay.
It does it all.
Love it.
That is a fun night.
It was a fun night, and it was a long night, but it was worth it. And thanks to the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame and Veronica Cordell, who's the executive director. They did a fantastic job. It was at the Performing Arts Center in Mooresville last night.
Yeah, I'm sure you did a fantastic job, too, and you looked great.
Well, thank you.
10 out of 10.
I appreciate that.
All right, folks, we got to take a quick break. Make sure that you keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're going to have another update of weather and traffic. And then at 9 o'clock, our own Julie Kay takes over. You see her there in the bottom left of your screen. She's in our live Impact News studio. That's coming up at the top of the hour. Make it a great Friday.
All right, our low temperature this morning in Charlotte was 48 degrees, so it is officially the coolest morning of the season so far. 48 in the Queen City, but look at Boone, 33 early this morning, so a chilly but beautiful start to our Friday. We're warming up by this point, though. Plenty of sunshine for that Friday forecast from Monroe to Dallas, Lake Norman, even right here in Charlotte. Current temperatures right now, we're at 56 in Charlotte, 49 in Hickory, still pretty chilly up there in the mountains, 37 degrees in Boone. Plenty of sunshine, though. I hope you can get outside and enjoy it. This afternoon, plan for sunshine and 75 degrees. Destiny.
Yeah, this morning it's been pretty active out there. We had a new crash out in Rowan County on I-85 southbound. It is officially reported cleared, but we do still have just backups in the area. So just be aware if you're headed southbound towards the Charlotte area, out near China Grove, still backups even though that accident is cleared this morning. Also following I-85 northbound at Cox Road, and then a crash on Pineville Matthews Road due to a downed tree. Drive safely out there.